How y'all doing? And thanks for watching and tuning in to Wicked Warnings, your number one source for construction and emergency safety strobe lighting equipment for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, motorcycles, wheelchairs, trolleys, SUVs, trains, planes, automobiles, and very nice 2022 F550. XL Super Duties, like what you're seeing here. This happened to be a cabin chassis, sporting an 11-foot Mason bed in the back. That's a dumpable bed with fold-down sides and a fold-down rear, or the dump buddy. Does all kinds of cool stuff, the back end of this truck. As you can see, we needed a good all-around construction and safety strobe lighting package for this particular client. This client, OCS, if you're ever up in Wisconsin area, go ahead and check them out at www.ocscontractingservices.com. Good friend of ours, brings the trucks all the way down from Wisconsin to get a little bit of Wicked Warnings love on them. Let me show you a little closer what you're looking at. Firstly, right up front in that grill, we got our 3-inch M-Power light. I like using that light in these Ford grills. It's real small, fits in very nicely. Now, you can do 2 of them right underneath the hood, just a little bit above where these 2 are mounted, or you can even do 4 of them the way I did here. Now, the lower ones are mounted on the cover for the bolt to remove the grill. And we just clearanced away a little bit of that plastic behind the cover to allow room for the wire to pass through and up behind the grill, behind the headlight, same way the wire on the top one passes up behind the grill. We left more than enough slack to remove that grill and set it down on the ground or set it up on the engine. You could always put a waterproof connector there if you prefer. Pattern you're looking at right there is called Intercycle, and 2 of those lights are in alternate color. All 4 are synchronized, and that is the pattern that you're going to end up with when you have Intercycle. You can see above it our auto flasher kit running on that roof light, the cab clearance lights on the top of the truck there. Just a very easy install for that kit, right in the driver's or passenger side A-pillar. Very easy, 1-wire cut, super fast install. Now, before I forget, this shop build is number 21285, and the other feature we added here on a separate switch by client request was the steady white flood for those 4 grill lights. And it doesn't affect anything else on the truck, only those 4 grill lights, and we labeled that switch front flood. Client requested that, so client gets that. Alrighty, as we turn around to the side of this truck, we can see what we have going on here. In the badges, a real popular spot, you could check out this DIY video I'm going to link right now about how to mount those lights in the badge. That's a Thin-X light, and we have that light in all kinds of colors and mixed in with white for a steady flood override, just like you saw on that grill if you want. Now, this particular client, we didn't want to do anything white facing the rear. He's up in Wisconsin, and he just wanted all amber everywhere but the grill. So we chose an amber Thin-X, mounted it in the badge there, very easy to do. And on the corners of this dump body, we went with M-Powers as well. On the back corner, because we had a little wider area, we did the M-Power 4. On the front corner, where it's narrow, we did the M-Power 3. And it fit quite nicely. We were able to mount those with the included VHB tape as well as some of our primer promoter by 3M. And we drill a single 3/8 hole for the wire. Now you can enlarge that hole to a 1/2 inch if you need to, if you're running split loom or anything else. But we like to keep the holes kind of small. And by doing that, on a dump body like this, you have minimal damage. Yes, there'll be a little bit of rust from any hole you drill in it. There's not much you can do about that. But at least this way, you have a nice seal of VHB all around that light. We can put a little bit of RTV on the top edge of that light to keep the water and salt from going down behind it, if at all. And you get away with just a single hole drill. Now that particular pattern on the amber is also Intercycle. It's just not a 2-color. You can see how it does that alternation and then the fast single alternation. That's Intercycle on that pattern. And 1 is just alternate. It's because there's no alternate color. So it's just the left and right of the Intercycle pattern. Here, as I pan out a little bit, you can see all 3 of those lights working together. I can't really get behind the truck far enough because our office is in the way to show you that badge the way it should be shown. But as I pull even further down, you can see how the badge casts that light backwards on about a 45-degree angle from the mounting point and really does a great job for covering the back end of this truck. I think with these 3 orange lights down the side, the truck will live a nice, safe, happy life. Alrighty, now around the back of the truck, you might notice up on the headache rack of the dump body there, that's our Raptor light. That's a great big light with a stainless steel bezel, and it's dual color capable as well, just like the grill. And we elected to only use the amber warning, which is perfectly fine because we are using the white flood on another circuit. So even though this light is sold amber white, you can program it to flash amber or flash white or flash amber and white, whatever you like. And it has that steady white override. Now below it, that's another 3-inch M-Power mounted right there on that upright. Keep in mind that not only the rear, but also both sides of this dump body fold down. So that makes it a little bit interesting about where you can mount lights. Because when the sides fold down, if you put lights underneath them, you've blocked your lights. So we wanted to make sure to go in the corners and keep them also out of the way of the chains and any damage. So we went up just about as high as we could, right underneath the factory parking lights. And we also synchronized these rear lights to the side lights. So when you get on a corner looking of this truck, you can see right on that rear post, the 4-inch light is alternating with the 3-inch rear light. And they're all synchronized together. All 6 of the rear body M-Powers are synchronized on that pattern, and they work very well. As you can see, you get a nice warning all around all corners of this truck. Now, the other thing I mentioned was we took advantage of that flood feature on those Raptor lights up high on the bed. And we also mounted right below the bed, you can see them right there next to the tail lights, a pair of our SS3 by Diode Dynamics floodlights. Alrighty, so as you can see, when you hit the rear flood switch, you're going to get those lower Diode Dynamics SS3s as well as our Raptors up above. So you get a nice 4-pack of white light out the back of the truck. And because you still have those 3-inch M-Powers, you don't lose all of your warning. So I like this. It still gives you a good 360 amber warning all the way around the truck. If you happen to need the flood, say you're loading something or you need to see around the truck, and you still have warning and flood. Now, you could use the flood without the warning, no problem. If you just want the flood and you don't want the ambers, you can have that as well. And then as soon as you drop that flood switch, you can see how those Raptors return back to their warning, where their alternation, they have a similar pattern to the one that's on the M-Power, but that's a wicked warnings light. And I forget exactly which pattern that is, but just has a nice double bounce and then a triple bounce back and forth. I use it a lot on the Raptors. I also use it a lot on the Razors. The Raptor and the Razor both share the same pattern set. So if you ever were wanting to put those two together, you could. Alrighty, I'm going to take you on the underside just to show off our wiring a little bit. On every corner of this truck, of course, we put a little extra wiring right here. That way, if we ever had to change that light, we have some extra slack to work with here. Now, because these sides fold down, there's not a real easy way to get wiring front to back on this dump body. I suppose I could have carried it all the way into here, but I didn't really want to have the wiring across here. So we might have mounted a 1/2-inch galvanized EMT conduit and ran that down each side all the way to the back, and that's what's holding our wire from our front corner light on this side. And the Raptors on the other side, they come down the other side and they go up another EMT conduit down that side. It's the same deal, extra wire in the corners. I wanted to make sure that there's serviceability in case we should ever have to change anything on this dump truck. And then around the back here, you can see we've exited there, split, loomed everything, left a little bit of extra loom here. You can see here where we're hanging our Diode Dynamics with the included hardware, zip tied everything off. Just make sure it's all nice and pretty. Here we've brought it all together onto the frame of the truck, and then we run it this way, combine it down, and we ran it right up the passenger side frame with some frame locks and zip ties all the way to the upfitter switches. So fairly simple, fairly easy install. I'll take you inside. I'll show you our switches. I know some of you guys like to see what we do with the switches, so here you go. You can see on this one, we just did a flash all, flood grill, rear flood. Did it in yellow with a black. If you need anything written up for switches like this, drop an email. Send us your spec, and you might just get some labels sent back to you for being a fan. So thanks again for watching Wicked Warnings. I hope you appreciate this video. Try to cover everything I can. One other thing that's kind of cool is when the bed goes up, you can really see those Raptors up high. They definitely don't really lose a whole lot of brightness going up with the bed and do a pretty darn good job even when the bed's raised, as you can see here. So I hope you appreciate this video. Any questions or comments, let me know. Now, this was kind of an extensive build. There's some unique stuff on it, a few pieces of hardware and split loom, all that stuff you're going to have to provide on your own. But I am going to link all the lights and the kits that we used in this video. That way you have links to everything. As far as the wiring, there was a little bit of different combinations of wiring. I don't have the full diagram immediately available on how we did this, but basically I extended all of the M-Power lights using my 22-5 down, and I joined them together basically right under the center of the Monroe. And then in the front, I extended that with an 18-5 to the back. So put everything together, the 3M primer promoter, all the parts. And if you have a dump truck like this, you can pull off the same build. We'll put it all on a list for you, but I don't have a complete wiring diagram, and I'm not going to ship the conduit. You're going to need to provide your own EMT conduit. Home Depot has it for $7 a stick. So that'll be on you, but we'll get you all the lights. We'll get you a lot of wire, and it's just up to you to put it together and kind of mimic what I did here, as long as you've got the same kind of Monroe truck body like this, where the sides fold down and the back folds down. Thanks again for watching. Approaching 10 minutes. Appreciate y'all being with me this long. Stay tuned to Wicked Warnings for more videos of construction and safety strobe lights for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, tricycles, and even once in a while, motorcycles, like over there in the background. We do all kinds of crazy stuff here at Wicked. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a like. Drop a comment. See you guys later. Thanks.